Yo,
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
what's going on?
Welcome to another Terp Talk Tuesday with my Cast. I'm Ken and Dave.
And I'm Groovy.
On today's Terp Talk, we're going to be talking all about concentrates.
Everyone knows it's my favorite. Give me a second
Hey.
while we get all situated here and get your comments pulled up. But appreciate you tuning in today because it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. And it leads into our concentrate
Great
review we
discussion.
do tomorrow, too. So check out our
Oh,
concentrate
yeah, that's true.
review.
That's true. I forget. It's a good call. I didn't even really coordinate them, but it's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's like one of my favorite concentrates that we finally got to review. So I'm super pumped. Definitely check it out. True North concentrates, all sorts of stuff. But batter is what we reviewed.
Yeah, we'll talk later about the strain.
Definitely pumped about that one.
You guys could probably guess it.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we're going to talk all about concentrates. And as we're talking about concentrates, it makes sense because we start at 710. 710 is upside down
Yeah.
oil, which is pretty much
Yeah.
your concentrates. We're going to be talking about a couple different topics
Hope you dig
here.
my background. Change it up a little bit. Trying to go perp. And celebrate it for many reasons, but just we'll say that. So yeah, we're changing it today specifically to perp for our buddy,
Yeah.
and for just switch it up a bit. And we like perps. So
Can't go wrong with that, man.
hell yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
But yeah, like Ken and Dave said, we're talking concentrates today. We're gonna like talk like little tips on them, how you prefer dabs, just like our little bit of like knowledge on the fact of like different consistencies and stuff, and we're going to talk about things like that. I think today I want to start it off. Of course, please let us know what you're smoking on, what you're dabbing on, as always.
Yep.
But I want to start off with a specific question, and this is relating a little to concentrates. Tonight we're going to start off, what is your favorite consistency? And that's what I would like to find out. What's your favorite consistency? And why? I mean, obviously why. Let us know. It'd be sweet in the comments for sure. But I'll start off with mine. I definitely like batter a lot because like sometimes it's a lot there in the it's really good flavor wise, right?
Mhm.
You don't end up with a lot of that risk of like super high THC with not a lot of flavor, right? Because sometimes like you get that with different things like live resin or the diamonds, right? Or rosin, if it's in your price range, I definitely say rosin can produce good terpenes. So I would say between rosin or in a good batter with like, and I've had batters that have almost like a little sauce to it, and that's like the best. Or like a sugar with a sauce, a little bit of a mix. That's like a sugary type of batter, more or less. What up, IG? What's up, fam? Yeah, but that's like my favorite. I mean, obviously rosin's up there, but like I just love it. Like especially now I've learned like that the sauce can really produce a good flavor. It may not be my favorite wax to dab because it's so annoying to actually dab that wax because you're like, oh, and you drop it. Oh, like it's so annoying to do.
Well, it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot when you're dabbing it, right?
No, and I understand some people,
But I love-
different things, but I love batter because it. Or like a good batter or a good rosin because you get that like 70% terp like THC, but you can get really flavorful stuff. So you get like really potent stuff, So I mean, decently potent stuff. Oh, I got a comment, Adam, YouTube. Adam, what up, fam? How's it going, man? He said sauce and diamonds for me or a nice batter. And that's what I'm saying. Batter is it because of flavor? I have to ask because sauce is definitely for flavor and batter is great for flavor. Rosin's great for flavor. So those are going to be my favorite because like I don't necessarily when I'm going and like I don't need that super high THC. I don't need that super high, like that look, that prettiness. I just need it to taste good, right? So like I'm looking for like that's why batter always works for me. I mean, what's your favorite consistency?
I would say over time now it's growing to first I would say I always enjoyed shatter back in the day, but not as much anymore. So I'm not as a fan of shatter as I used to be. So I used to love shatter.
I never felt like it was that flavorful. Like even when I go back and I've done some shatter recently, like you get a little bit of flavor, but you don't really get that same terpene profile that you do when you're dabbing something that.
But see, I was thinking like when I was dabbing the shatter, it was compared to Crumble, and to me Crumble wasn't as flavorful. There was nothing there for Crumble.
Crumble to me was just like it was stronger than weed, right? Like it got you there faster.
Shatter
right?
was like my first thing. I was like, oh, okay, this is good stuff.
And we'll get into this with the tips if you're not used to like dabbing a shit ton because like there is difference in like how you get stoned on the dabs, and I'm sure everyone here can attest, right? I mean,
100%.
What's your thoughts on that? I mean, definitely let us know. Any thoughts, disagree, agree? say groovy, your hair looks like shit, whatever, just comment, please.
Groovy,
The
your hair
algorithms,
looks like shit.
the algorithms are so tough to beat these days. So any comment, share. I know it's so corny, but please let us know your thoughts in the comments.
But right now, though, if you're asking me my consistency, what it would be my favorite one right now, I'd give you 2. And maybe it's 3 because I probably would have to go Sauce and Diamonds because I really like that. That was very.
You're with Adam Bomb.
It was very flavorful.
What's up, Neil? What's up, T-Dub?
Very flavorful with like a nice hit kick to it. You know what I'm saying? But I've really been enjoying rosin, man. I haven't got much rosin recently, but when I was dabbing some rosin, I was really enjoying that.
But again, you're not talking so potent that it just puts you out. Like it's not like when those. See, that's why people love the diamonds and sugar because it's like long. Like the potency lasts long with the THC. It's like very long lasting, but the terpenes are there, so you still got that flavorful. So you just get knocked out. And I totally love that, but you know me, man. I'll just rip dabs in the daytime, like on the weekend. Like I like taking dabs. I don't like being knocked out though. I just do small dabs for flavor.
Right. Yep.
Right. So that's why I love just doing for flavor. Boom. Now I want to try this flavor. Boom. Now I want a little bit of this ice cream mac. Boom.
What up, Neil? He goes, sauce is amazing. It's all about marinating diamonds in it. 100%.
Yeah, but did you see what? No, just Neil's comment's the best though. He's like, if you really want to get crazy with it, get a crystalline donut from Cola and slather it in solventless terp sauce. Okay. Now, see, that's what I'm trying to say. With concentrates, you can start mixing concentrates now. And that's something I want to talk about. Sauce and diamonds is not technically like a consistency. It's like a mix, right? And that's definitely a thing I want to talk about. But like, that's huge right now is the mix of consistencies, the mixing of things.
So flavorful.
People put, think about how much these pre-rolls sell with like the wax on them and the keef on them. What are they called? I'm blanking. I buy them sometimes, but not often.
Oh, yeah.
Caviar joints, right? But they're huge, or they used to be huge. They're not as big as they used to be because now dabbing's becoming easier to do with e-nails and stuff. But
because it's also like how much wax is really on it? Is it a waste? Like, is it actually good stuff? At that point, it used to be very cool to see it. I bought a lot of it, so not a lot, but I would buy it just to try it, just because I'd be like, I kind of want to try it out.
Terp sugar is one of my favorites, T-Dub, so I agree completely. I definitely love terp sugar. I think that's kind of just more like a sugary with a sauce. And
not
made
favorite
up
consistency? Crumble.
Crumble.
Yeah. I'd say Crumble was not my favorite.
Crumble's always like the left out kid in basketball.
Sauce by itself is
like
good,
the 11th player.
I don't know if it's my favorite just by itself, because like you were saying, sometimes you're just like, I would put on a joint.
I mean, does anyone like Crumble out there? Like, does anyone like Crumble out there? Like, is that like something like someone can argue with me why there's advantages to Crumble? I'm totally willing to hear it. I'm not team Crumble exactly per se. But again, high THC stuff. If you're looking for consistencies with high THC, you're looking for those diamonds.
Yeah.
Or THCA directly, which is just kind of like and it ends up looking more like, I mean, dude, to me, it looks like Coke before it's cut. Like I don't know what else to say. It looks like a powder, right? Or any of those powder drugs. It just looks like a powder drug. Because one time I bought it, I'm like, whoa, 99% too. So I'm like, wow, right? Like, I'm like, this is going to be amazing. And then like, the flavor was like minimal and it was kind of sweet, so it wasn't even like what I was into.
I remember that,
and I just kept burning through these dabs. Like I was taking like dabs on dabs, and it's like Crumble. It's like super frustrating to take the dab, and I'm like, this is stupid. This is literally the stupidest thing ever. So a lot of times with those high THC things, I recommend getting them, especially if they're powder or Crumble. Like just mix that with joints. Like do other ways, like or in a bowl. Put that in the middle and sandwich it. So you don't burn it. Because at high temps, you'll burn that. You'll burn the THC. You'll burn the flavor. You'll burn all that stuff off. So make sure you put it in the center of the flour or the joint, whatever, or mix it in with it, right? So bowl. That we'll kind of get into like the tips. And if anyone else has tips, please share them. Because like I'm always learning. I love to take any new things because we got some like debatable topics coming up, and I want to hear your opinions, but I want to like ease into it because I want to get everyone's opinion on temp, and we're not there yet. Calm down. Like I know, well, because that's such an arguable thing, right? And there's different. It's just like what I'm talking about. We were talking about with the consistencies. There's high THC stuff. There's diamonds. There's THCA. There is those THC if you want them. There's those 1-to-1s. There's the ones that are more flavorful, right? There's the ones that are solventless, like rosin, which I don't know if we touched that, but rosin is solventless stuff where all this other stuff tends to have some type of additive to it and then has to be purged from it, essentially.
Always clean your dab tools too.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that too. We've got some cleaning stuff, tips, and all this type of stuff. But, so, I mean, any tips you want to start off with? Like, specifically with cleaning? Because I know you brought your, these specifically. What do we use them all the time?
Dab mops, right? Yeah. They're called.
You want to grab one? Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard of dab mops, but definitely I don't have the container. It's downstairs, unfortunately. But dab mops, if you're into, if you use, you definitely, oh God, hit my computer. If you use, you definitely should be using Q-tips when you clean your like no matter what, e-nails, all that stuff. Just give it a nice little wipe for residue. Some nails are cool with you using isopropyl alcohol. Some are not. I've had issues with some of my stuff turning pink when you use iso.
Definitely use these. This will get up all the last residue.
Just right at the end. Yeah, right after you take your dab, those are good for. As far as cleaning off that residue when you're burning, like my tip is just burn it off with the torch.
What up,
like
Dave?
Especially when you're using quartz and when you're using ceramic, in which, again, those are my recommendations with those two. I would stay far away from titanium.
You stay away far from titanium? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while I've hit a nectar collector
with.
like that, but I don't even like it on the nectar collector because they just don't.
No, I prefer quartz all day.
I mean, you're burning metal. How can that be good?
Yeah, quartz all day. Quartz now, all day.
Yeah.
You know?
Someone ordered THCO. For sure. Let us know how you enjoyed that. That would definitely be interesting.
Oh, no shit.
If you're wiping black char off, you're burning your concentrate too hot. 100%. And that's another thing we can talk about with the temp stuff, but definitely we will get into the temp stuff.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a good tip, Adam Baum. I appreciate that. I'm pulling that up because that's a great tip for anyone. I mean, that's a good sign that you're doing it, or it might be not the best stuff. Concentrate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I prefer colder start, but we're not getting there yet.
Oh, you do prefer cold starts?
Or not cold starts, sorry.
Okay. I was going to say,
cold starts reminds me of that, what was it, the dab tabs that we took, that we didn't take. We tried, where you drop the tabs in, and then you heat it up, and then you inhale, which was a little bit different. Interesting. Not a fan, personally.
Oh, actually, I just want to circle back on something. Neil actually said that's what he uses Crumble for. Is he loves them, but he doesn't dab them. He puts them in cones and blunts with them. That's actually a good point. I've never bought Crumble for that specific reason. That was just kind of like my tip, because they're so frustrating. The dab, by the time you actually get the dab down, you're like meh, you know.
Yeah, the dabs just, they don't do it like they used to.
Yeah, so don't do what we did. Don't do the titanium. Don't do that. Even if it's a nectar collector, you can buy quartz or ceramic nectar collectors. I had one for ages until it broke. That ceramic, well, not ages, it's exaggerating, for like months.
Mm-hmm.
But the ceramic nectar collectors, definitely get them. I ordered the wrong one off Amazon. I highly recommend you just go to a smoke shop and make sure it's going to fit, because I've ordered them once, and they came like this big. They were like this big. Everything was like in millimeter or something, not centimeter. I forget what I read wrong, but I was like, what? Got like little nectar collectors. I was like, this is ridiculous.
How does this work?
I was like, what? Yeah, so those are my tips. Definitely. I say play with the temp, because not everyone wants that super hot dab or super cold dab. You got to find your right temp, whether it be...
That's the tricky part. You need to find that out. You either have to buy one of the heat guns to check the temp that you want to go with, or do like kind of what me and you do. Is we like heat it up.
Just time it.
Yeah. Because I like about a minute.
I just like to make sure it doesn't feel like it's burning my finger either, because if it's burning your finger when you put it right next to it, then it's not going to be good for your lungs. And that's just how my logic works. I don't know the facts behind that, but once it gets to a point where I can almost touch it and it's not burning, it's like right there, and it's a very specific temperature for me, so I can't explain over that. But that's like another small tip I would say. Is just kind of making sure if it's really hot next to your thumb, don't take it. It's really hot still. And I know that's silly, but when you're in the dab and you're excited and you're waiting to take that dab, and there's that anxiety of like, holy shit, I'm so excited about to get stoned. You know?
I mean, you are about to get litty.
Yeah.
When you hit that, I would always make sure that I would clean your pipe, your rig as well too. It's not a pipe, it's a rig. You know, clean that rig once in a while too, because you will get some of that concentrate left over in the rig, and it's always good to have some clean glass. You know, Groovy just cleaned his too, you know. So
For sure.
Which is awesome. You can't go wrong with that.
We got a comment saying dab tabs do suck.
Yeah, dude, they were not good at all, man.
Yeah, I didn't like them. Cold starting doesn't work. I had to drop them on a hot banger. Exactly. I had the same issues with cold starting that way. And Neil, it's not that I necessarily don't like cold start. It's more of that I don't really do it. I feel like I don't do it right, or I don't have the right, like, I guess I would say, I don't keep the nail perfectly clean, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I have a little leftover residue, so I don't necessarily want to cold start, because then to me, I just rather burn it off. And I have this kind of like once it starts to get red, I stop and I have I do like a minute and 10 on thicker stuff. I do about a minute on thinner stuff, maybe 55 seconds. And then on the thicker stuff, it's like a minute and 30. So I have like kind of something, a routine I fell into per se. You know what I mean? Like when you kind of fall into that routine. It's the same reason why I haven't made the full switch to the e-nail, because I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? They're like, oh, you're just gonna use it traveling. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna use it all the time around the house. Like, are you serious? Like, if I can dial in my temperature, like, it's gonna be game over. It's not necessarily nervous. It's just like, you know, from all the dabs that I've done, because again, I haven't done the temp specific ones. I've only done the low, medium, high ones. I wasn't super pumped with e-nails. I like some of them. Just, I like that Dr. Dabber. We've only done that a couple times, but as far as like that first gen of the Puffcos, that was like, I don't know.
Right.
I just got to dial in that right spot. Well, I was just trying to get used to them. Yeah, right. But I feel like I can get the more specific temperature when I want, when I'm just timing it and feeling it out.
I mean,
how do you recommend doing your cold starts, Neil? I mean, any recommendations in the chat would be great on cold starts, or how you like taking your dabs, because I'd love to hear different ways, because I'm always interested, and especially with the e-nail craze and everything, I do want to get an e-nail for reviews and for live, so we can start doing dabs more when we're in the live sessions. We stopped doing them as much.
We did do that, yeah.
Yeah, we just smoke J's now. I mean, we took a couple dabs before, but of course I'm not gonna not take dabs at Terp Talk. Come on, man.
Oh, we all dabbed GMO before.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the review's on tomorrow. Sneak peek.
So we
GMO.
gotta do some more. You know what I mean? Gotta do some more.
GMO by True North.
Yep. So that was That's kind of like some quick tips. You got any quick tips before, like, I mean, you got any like little quick tips to dab, Dave?
To be honest, if it's your first time dabbing, I would take a small dab, very minuscule. Take your time.
What were you, just say whatever you were telling me earlier, because that's a very good point. When you're getting, you're used to smoking cannabis.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, it hits you instantly. So you're gonna get a quick hit instantly. The effects hit you right away, right? Compared to some weed where it's gonna take a little bit of time. You might take a puff and it's not hitting you. Like, to me, I'm gonna feel a dab right away. I'll smoke a joint, I'll get a couple puffs. I'll feel the joint, but I feel like that dab hits you right away. So I just take it slow, in my opinion, and take a smaller dab. Like, don't go for a glob.
Just like you said, because if you go too big, that cerebral effect, the cerebral effects of cannabis
you'll be lit.
Hit you a lot more gradual. They'll say creeper weed, right? Because you don't realize that perspective cerebral part of cannabis doesn't hit you yet. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that part of cannabis is kind of why we say chill out with dabs, because that part is not like ever a slow creeper. That shit hits you right there. Right then, like by the time you finish your dab, it was just like, you're like, whoa. 'Cause I remember my first couple times doing dabs, like when dabs were new and they were like tar.
I did it hot as hell because I died on my first one.
Well, because we thought more smoke, more better. Just like how when you hit weed back in the day, because that's how it was when the weed was shit. You'd have to just take as much as you could, right, and holding it. Because I'm sure everyone here has done this, right? But like now,
you
the
get
weed's
higher when you
stronger.
do that, man.
Right, because the oxygen's deprived from your brain. No, I mean, whatever. But, like, my whole point is just, that. So.
That's a valid point, man. That's valid.
But you said it right. He said, you brought that up because you're like, weed is a slow, gradual, wow, I'm stoned, right? Weed dabs, it's like, poof, you're there, right? So if you're used to that, like, effect, and you already like that mindset, like a lot of regular cannabis smokers out here, us, a lot of us out here, not all of us, but like me, Canada Dave, like we've been smoking a while. I know what's coming, so it doesn't shock me. But, like, when you're getting into it, it's definitely, like, chill out. Like, I mean, I remember when I was getting into dab, and I'd be taking these globbers, and I'd be like, and I'd, like, throw up and all this stuff. Oh, that's interesting. You're not hearing the audio feed.
Yeah, no, G.
I mean, I don't know why, because it's just our mic setup. It's just my regular-ass cam. Are you not hearing it? Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
No, we got to comment on that.
I mean,
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, read it. I don't know if you can hear it.
Not hearing the audio feed. Just hop over to. You can't hear me.
Well, it doesn't make sense because nothing's plugged into it. So
I know. I don't know. I was gonna say hop over to YouTube, but
I'll figure that out here. Canada Dave, talk over for a second.
Yeah, I'll go into tomorrow's episode and I'll jump back into tips for new dabbers. So yeah, tomorrow's episode we're gonna be reviewing Groovy's favorite concentrate, GMO True North dabs cured batter. We talk about South Dakota. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but South Dakota legalized cannabis last year. the night before Thanksgiving, they came in and voted and took away the recreational law and passed medical, which is an interesting thing because the people thought they had rec. Now they don't. So that article we shared is from High Times. It's on our Facebook page. You can check that out. And then also we get into the Safe Banking Act, and credit unions are urging Congress to put in the Safe Banking bill into Safe Banking bill into Defense Act, right? Yeah, the Defense Act that they're going to be voting on here soon too. So just to be able to get this stuff is very needed for the cannabis industry. Just to get it passed, like if they can't pass it alone, then they got to stuff it in, I guess. But this needs to happen now because the Safe Banking Act is key for the businesses here in Michigan and for any other state that's adult use or even medical. Because without it, it's hard to bank. You can't do it safely. You're not able to get loans. It's cannabis industry. Like, don't get why it's unfair with all this. And I think with all that, hopefully it fits and it's able to pass, so we're able to have a lot of businesses here and all over the U.S. be able to safe bank. So, but going back to tips for new dabbers, I would definitely, go back to being smaller dabs before you go into giant globs. And we got Groovy back.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear us now. We switched phones. I really don't know what was happening with the mic. It was just like not hearing you, I guess. So sorry about that. I'm not really sure what to do there.
Looks like you got a comment.
Yeah, so. Okay, coof We're good now. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Must be my phone mic broke. Listen, I've been having issues with it. We had like grounding issues when I used the wires out of here. And then now I guess it wasn't working for you. But it worked literally 3 minutes before we went live. So I'm not really sure why. Like literally we tested it, like we did. on another profile. So anyways, that's crazy. So anyways, sorry about the delay there.
Appreciate that
yeah.
commission for this. Appreciate that on that. So
yeah, and again, if you're on IG, now that you can actually hear us, go over to YouTube, please. Yep. YouTube's like the best way to chat. We got a bunch of people chatting over here, T-Dub, M, Adam Bomb, bunch of, people always commenting over here. So please check us out over there. So, but yeah, no, definitely.
Well, thank you guys for letting us know the audio is good on YouTube. Yeah. We appreciate that.
I
love you guys.
Appreciate you. Yeah, no, thank you. No, because but
what's everyone smoking and dabbing?
Yeah, what's your dabbing on? And please, like, any tips for new dabbers? Like, let us know. Like, 'cause I know I'm missing something. Like, isopropyl alcohol is your friend. Like, I know it's silly. Because remember, you ever boil water? Anyone else ever used to boil water to clean your pipes? Because I did used to. Okay. I was say, just especially with wax, like consistencies. I know with bongs and stuff, like
I was afraid I was going to shatter that glass.
I used to do it all the. I didn't know it was that much easier, so I used to boil. All right. Well, anyways, just isopropyl. I just learned. I don't think it's good for nails. As much as everyone says it's fine for nails, I really don't think so. Just
no. I don't think. I think over time I might agree with you.
Now that we fixed all the sound on everything, let's talk about the one thing I've been wanting to talk about. The topic.
What is it, Groovy?
Dun dun dun. And I don't know if I worded it correctly because I said medium, but hot, medium, or low temp dabs. This is a big argument, and then like why, and then because like I know nowadays everyone's on low temp, but like I remember a lot of people used to like hot dabs because you'd get a lot more smoke,
Okay, so if I was to choose, where I'm leaning with this. I like. Oh, well,
you won't even do a dab if it's hot nowadays.
No, I know I won't touch a hot dab no more because
what's the point?
What's the point? My longest did that when I was young and dumb, first hitting dabs, like we were just saying a little bit ago. My first dab I did. Right. Just, I remember going to the corner just dying.
Right, dude. Well, because it'd feel like you just ate like a hit of acid that came up in a second. You're like, whoa, shit's moving. You're like throwing up. You get. I remember I used to take off like my hoodies or clothes. I'd be like stripping off my clothes when I was taking a dab. People were like, "Are you okay?" I'd be like, "That was great." Like, was it great? Because I feel like you're about to die. Should I call the hospital or should I do one? Like you know what I mean?
Oh man, so I've done my hot temperature
Travis,
dabs.
What's up, fam?
Slowly went back. Now I'm been doing
Atom
low
Bomb,
temp for a
dabbing
while.
on some Mac from True North. See, Mega Mac. I like their Mac Daddy. Yeah, we just did some GMO by them, so good call.
Nice. T-Dub's dabbing some apple fritter from Fresh Coast Extracts.
Nice. I just said it because you were doing it. Nice.
I was saying nice. I didn't even realize I was going
Travis,
nice.
Oh man, hot and hurdy if you want to get coffin rocked, low temp for flavor. I like that phrasing. That was very simple, like very smooth saying right there. I like that. I like the way dab and hurdy you want to go. I love it because that's kind of what I wanted to get to. It's like, yeah, you can take hot temp dabs and you get a little bit. You do get a lot more smoke, and you're like, "Rrr." It's like how back then you feel stoned, but like you miss all that flavor, man. And sure, maybe if the wax is shitty, it's just like kind of the weed ends up being shitty, you throw it in a blunt. Maybe just rip that shit hot. Like, but it's not good for your lungs either. So don't do that every time. We don't recommend that. I'm a big medium person, though. Groovy loves it hot. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Groovy does not do them hot. I just don't like them freezing, like the way Dave likes like little tiny bits of smoke.
Oh my gosh! No, it's just so
like
flavorful, man.
I like a me. I don't like I said, I don't necessarily say mine's super hot or low. I mean, I think it's right.
If
there.
yours is low, you're like, man, this.
Well, dude, like with that dab. No, it's not. It's not that. It's just that if it's super low temp, some people like that little tiny smoke, and I don't like the little tiny smoke. I mean,
you're like, I wanted to feel that.
Oh, we got a temp in there. I was curious who was gonna throw the temp out there first. An nail set to 730.
Okay.
I've heard 700's a good temp. Around there, 700. I've heard that. I don't nail dab enough. Like I've done it here far in between, but I've never used the exact ones. I've only used the ones that are like low, medium, high, green, blue, red, or whatever. Blue, green, red.
No, I feel that. I don't know because I never really gauge mine. I'll feel it and be like, all right, it's been about a minute 20. It's still a little hot. And go. Maybe a minute 30. Teed up. When I let it get too cool, I hit another at a hotter temp. Yeah, groovy all day. Just gotta love that you guys. It's all about preference.
T-Dub just said something. He says when I let it get too cool, I hit another hotter temp. And I've done that, and that's why THCA used to stress me out because I'd be like, I have to rip that shit like so hot just to kind of enjoy it. Like, and I'm like, what was the point? My lungs hurt. I mean, like I'm like a buzz, but now I'm more frustrated. It's like entourage effect. Like, yeah, you feel something, but it's not enjoyable. So what was the point, right?
Valid, man. Valid. That's so true.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I think sometimes when you like as a human, I'm sure. I hope a lot of people can agree to this statement, is sometimes you get caught up in the habit. Like, I'm comfortable using a quartz nail. Like, when it starts turning red, I wait like a minute and 10 to minute and 20 seconds, depending on the thickness, right? That's usually what I do. That's what I kind of fell into. And like I said, I always put my thumb right here, and it's kind of hard to see, but I should have a couple scars there because I'm always burning myself because I'm putting my hand up to it. Because, like, once it's, like, just that cool temp, that's my temp, and I don't know what that is exactly. So... And that's kind of that like thing why I get frustrated sometimes with cold starts or with low temp dabs is sometimes I feel like I'm just like not getting what I paid for or I'm wasting it. Like Atom Bomb just backed me up. Well, literally just backed me up. So he's wasting product. Like I feel like it's almost like, like,
well,
that's
yeah.
A bummer.
I mean, if you're not getting a hit on it, yeah, that's a waste. I would agree with that. I still get it where I'm still getting a nice still hit, flavorful, perfect where I like it. I don't feel like I'm losing any. You see the dabs that hit. I'm never like, oh, that was way too cold. Right, I'm not getting a hit at all. So I got it.
Right, but you got it dialed in to what you're used to, right? And that's kind of what I was trying to say is like it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, mine's a hot temp, mine's a low temp. I feel like mine's just right. I'm playing Goldilocks in this bitch. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, 3 little dabs in me. Like, I don't know, 3 little bears, wasn't that? Goldilocks, whatever. Like my whole point is that it's just right for me, and like I don't know if that's 742.6. Like I don't know, and I will, but small dab 650. Interesting. So that makes sense, and that's what I was gonna say too. Is sometimes you get different consistencies you need to burn hotter. Like a diamond, like I need to burn hotter than I do need like a sauce or a sugar because it's already, I feel like it's less conversion. At that point, solid to rather than it's already a liquid to a gas, rather than a solid to a gas. So I think that's something definitely I didn't even think about mentioning that. So thank you for bringing that
No,
up.
actually, what Ron just said is something we totally forgot. Carb cap. 100%.
Oh, we use them every time. Yeah, it's right here.
That's 100%.
Carb cap, definitely. Whether it be the ball with the twisty thing, or if you're gonna, I used to use terp balls. I used to love those. Definitely always use a carb cap. If shit hits take the bottom of this freaking dab container and just spoof, put that right on there. Unless there's paper, be careful. I've done that a million times. You feel like an idiot, but like, you know what I mean. But
when you're in need.
But I like the different temps for different consistencies is kind of a good thing to remember, because like say your like temperature is, you know, using my thumb thing, I'm like, oh wow, that's warm, perfect, that's my dab temperature, right? For a nice like sugar sauce type of thing, batter that's already kind of like there. But when you're in something solid like that Crumble, that THCA, that especially the diamonds with sugar, you got to kind of diamonds with sauce, you got to kind of find that balance of temp. We got some like lower temperatures. Neil was saying 550 for most stuff, 525, 500 on even rosins, and that's where I get that is that's where I'll take some low temp dabs. Is when I got rosin, I will try to take abnormally low temp dabs for sure
For that flavor.
because it's like the natural flavor. You're getting all the cannabinoids, and like you don't want to take dabs too hot because you literally lose terpenes. Like that's like a fact. Terpenes burn at certain temperatures. So it's like these aren't even like debatable things. Like we understand, sure, if it's shitty wax, you want to take something hot, cool. But you're not going to get flavor. You're just going to get smoke. And, you know, I think a lot of us coming from the Reggie days, like that is fine sometimes if that's all you got in a pinch, right? Hey, shit, I used to smoke resin out of bowls, like, right? But not saying I do that now that I'm in a better place. But like,
no, he does not do that.
I'm in a better place. I should just say, like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Doesn't smoke resin out of bowls. That's funny though.
But I'm just saying, like, it's different. Like, the difference is now you're getting the entourage effect is getting you stoned. Yeah, back in the day we used to just get lit because we were smoking as much flower as we could, right? We were just like, yeah, we smoked a 3 gram blunt because more weed meant back in the day. More weed, more concentrates, or more hash, more anything would mean better, right? Or higher. We're higher because it was all pretty much the same shitty brick weed back then, right? Now that we got all these different consistencies, you could smoke a 3 gram joint, and I can smoke a 1 gram joint, and I could be more entourage effect if the flower's better flavor, right?
100%.
So it's like
100%, baby.
That's what I think the difference is, like going through from the old school mentality to new school. For me, at least, when I was like transitioning from like just getting lit to like the flavor is like, you know, and that's why everyone gives me these hard times. Like, oh, you smoke a little joint, you take little dabs. Like, man, you don't know me. I used to go crazy and be stupid, but now I'm just like, I found my thing, right? That works for me, you know, and that's what I love about cannabis. I love about concentrate specifically because you can really dial in concentrates. You can find out which ones you want for flavor, which ones help with your legs, like because they're just like, here's the strength, here's the flavor, here's this like specific terpene profile, so I know how this is gonna make me feel, right? And then if you find a grower that can grow that strain, that pheno even closer, you're like, oh my god, you find that combo.
Beautiful cannabis, man. That's so great about it. God, I love it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, thank you, Travis. I appreciate that. He said you said it perfectly. Groove. I almost call myself wrong. Pluralize all terpene vaporized at slightly different temps, and absolutely, that's a huge thing. Like that, I feel like sometimes, not even sometimes. I just never really heard anyone talk about that. I still don't hear many people talk about that, to be honest.
What, the terps?
Why? Oh, sorry. I just read a comment that like took my breath away. It said, fuck rosin. So hold on. Let me rebalance my consciousness here. First off,
fuck rosin.
It says fuck rosin besides solventless diamonds. I need to understand why, because I've had some solventless diamonds and they were like, all right, but I think rosin is, I've had some pretty good rosin. Shout out to Kashik Farms.
Who said that? I'm hurt.
Ron did. No, Ron's that dude. I love Ron. But he likes hydrocarbon. And like, you know, as long as it's purged right, like, you know, it's just, you know, you got to try the wax to taste it, right? You got to know your shit, right? And it sounds like Ron does. But I can't say fuck rosin. Unless you're saying I'd fuck some rosin. I don't know what I'm saying. But for real.
Too funny.
It's just, you know, again, you dial in what you like. And that's why I will say, personally, I do like a good batter, terp sugar sauce, and then I do like rosin. But that wasn't necessarily my first favorite. You know what I mean? Someone said fuck Roz in the chat, will riot. um, no, but for real, yeah. Well, I mean, it does. I mean, all these things kind of do matter with consistencies, you know. I mean, we all have our favorites and stuff, but at the end of the day,
everyone's got their preference, exactly.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
which you can't go wrong with. I mean, there's sauce and diamonds, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The best of both worlds.
It's a nice looking picture too. It's a good looking picture when you have sauce and diamonds. Dude, it's a nice looking picture. Remember all the diamonds when they first came out? I'd be looking at that like a 13-year-old looking at porn for the first time. I'd be like this. Be like looking at my phone sideways, upside down. Be like, what are you looking at? I'd be like, damn, look at this diamond. Like, well, not I was expecting. But like, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's crazy. Well, and I've had rosin diamonds only a couple times, and both times I was like, like I was just so mesmerized. It was like a diamond made solventlessly. They made into
solventless diamonds was good though too. That was good.
It was solid. It was unique.
That was good.
Most def.
But
that was that dogman
troop. I think something like that. Yeah. It wasn't bad. We also had Akashics though too.
Yeah, I love Akashics. And yes, that's kind of what T-Dub's saying. Private extractors are far superior to dispo rosin. I mean, yeah. I mean, you got people that have been probably learning how to make hash and doing it from people above them and, you know, meaning older, you know, generations passing it rather than people just trying to learn.
It takes time to craft
anything. Anything. To like dial things in takes time. You know?
Not like one time you're like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. And then every time after that, it's perfect and perfect. It takes time. But once you do craft it, it's amazing. Once you can make
let's start one more conversation. Screw it. Why not?
Screw it.
Because this sounds like it's in our chat a lot. And e-nails are traditional torch style nails. I just want to hear everyone's thoughts on it. I'm a little biased to traditional torch style because that's what I'm used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here.
I will definitely say I put e-nails or traditional torch style only because I understand vaporizing is doing concentrate, so I should technically include that. If you want to say vapes are your favorite thing, e-nails or e-vapes, like you can say that. I just, I personally forget sometimes that vapes are even, I mean, I know they are, but I put them in such a different category. I'm like, that's a cart. A cart just hits me differently. Like, because a cart hits me like how weed hits me, but in a concentrate form, right? Like, it hits me more subtly. I don't just like hit a cart and I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen.
No.
So.
Quartz for me, man. Quartz all day
quartz
for me.
Nail. Quartz nail, traditional torch style. I mean, we're both kind of on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely started dabbing together too. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know 100% what I mean?
with a carb cap, 100.
Yeah.
Those are the essentials. Nice dab tool. Clean that dab tool. Get the, what do we call these again? Mob globs. Clean it. You hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, quartz nail, man. And a nice rig. I think a nice rig. You can get a nice rig for like $30-$40. Like, I used to have expensive glass, and the reason why I won't get them is due to the raid when they smashed all of them. But I won't pay for glass. I won't pay for glass.
I am personally clumsy and will drop most things.
No more.
So I
was sad. I used to have like the cakes and then like the sweet little one, the lemon drop.
I remember your custom pieces. You had them like in a separate room somewhere.
Dude, they were dope, man.
Dave would just like take them out every once in a while.
They were sweet rigs. They were sweet.
Yeah, they were sweet.
But now, got a couple other cool ones.
Well, again, that's
you don't need an expensive rig.
It's like a niche thing, collecting glass. You really don't. Sweet, but like you said, you can nowadays you can find like a decent, like an okay setup for like under $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nail, torch, everything.
Perfect.
Actually, probably even cheaper nowadays because
I
I found
got a
torches
couple
for like
$20,
$30. Like,
actually, I have Illuminati glass right now. Illuminati glass, I think that is right.
Someone said, "Oh God, oh."
What?
I just read it. Hot knifing.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
If you don't know what hot knife, I don't have a hard time saying it. I'm gonna pull it up though. I know I'm pulling it up. Side note: if you don't know what hot knifing is, don't worry about it. Like, you know what I mean? Don't even do it. I mean, I did it too. I used to see people, you know, put the hash on the knife and then put the cup over the hash, and you just like hit the hash with the straw. Yeah, no. Again, I've seen other ways to do it, but like that was the way I saw it done, and I was like, man, this feels like really like crackheadish, like the way I made this. Like I was like, this is nuts. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
That's hilarious.
Then meanwhile, I'd spend like a half an hour making a water bong out of a 5-gallon like thing, and you know,
gravity bong.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
let's go.
oh man. Oh, I like this. I like this perspective. Simply, I use both.
Okay.
I like that. Well, it's I imagine it's if I'm gonna read this. It's imagine for I'm planning on hitting several dabs. I use my torch for high end or showing off. Quartz only with vortex carb cap. Okay, definitely with the. I don't know the vortex carb cap, but definitely carb cap. Definitely quartz only because again, I'm not a titanium fan. I do like ceramic nectar collectors because I had one that I got terps through. Like I swear, I had good flavor through that thing until it got old. It was not the best thing. But I like that idea of using both. I thought I would probably use mine more for travel and the podcast, and then use my torch for just traditional from taking multiple dabs. Because it feels like that e-nail, like once it's clogged, you gotta like spend some time cleaning it every time. Where a torch I can just like heat it up and it's clean. I heat it up again, and it's all the leftover stuff's gone. Damn. You can't just like shove a torch inside the e-nail and it's clean. Like you just ruined it. So that's a good point too. I like that. I never thought about that. So thanks, Neil. That's like kind of like led me to that thinking. So thanks for just putting out the difference too. That's a very good idea. Because like sometimes I always feel like I'm just gonna switch, but maybe I would do a little bit of both. I'd just be too worried I'd be hitting that e-nail all the time. So.
Yeah, that makes sense after a while.
Oh, Neil's being sarcastic with the high knifing. Good. I mean, it's just funny though because that was old school, and that was like old school, just like hash. Like that was hash.
I remember.
I mean, you could do it with dabs, I'm sure, but I saw
hash. My neighbor back in the day was. That's how he started the dabs back in the day. Yeah. And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, no shit."
It's just weed, right? Like that's what everyone used to say. It's just weed, right? It's just weed, right? Like, I think. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, no, good point. That's a good point. So I just like that conversation. I definitely do want to ask this. I didn't make a little thing for it or anything, but maybe we'll take a second here and just shout out our everything, do like a little break and shout out the coupon code.
Yeah.
Because like we're gonna jump into another topic here, and I feel like it's like a little bit long-winded. I guess not super low-winded, but anyways, let's just talk about it. But here, go ahead. I'll say it.
Yeah, no. If you guys are, this be a shout out from our sponsor, Nino's Naturals, CBD.com. If you're looking to try some CBD products or looking maybe for a little holiday gift for somebody, check out Nino's Naturals.
Ship nationwide.
Mention MyCanna15, MICANNA, CANNA 15 at the promotional code at checkout, and you'll receive 15% off. And also, I believe it's over $50. It's free shipping as well too.
For sure. I mean, the holidays coming up, so and I like the nighttime stuff. The nighttime stuff for sure.
Groovy's got the website link at the bottom.
Yeah, CBD, ninosnaturalcbd.com. For sure, wanted to give them a plug. I just wanted to take a second. Why? And then obviously, please check out our episode tomorrow at 4:20 p.m.
Yep, that's Eastern time. And then also our Wake and Bake at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Come bake up with us. And then also if you're in the Muskegon, Battle Creek, Edwardsburg, or Ben Harbor, check out Nobo and mention
for sure. MyCannaCast.
And those are shout out to our sponsors. So thank you.
Yeah, grab you some points and definitely grab some full spectrum edibles if you make it out that way in those areas. Yeah, definitely just wanted to give them a shout out there for a second. But it's a coupon code. It's not exactly a coupon, but it's a MICANNA right there, 15.
It's like an affiliate code.
Yeah, you just to put it in when you're checking out. Yeah. Have any issues, just message us. We'll try to figure out it. So we'll work together on it. It's all new to us. So
thank you guys.
Yeah, no, but like the last topic, not the last topic, the next section, I just want to talk about, because I never lower third, but what's your favorite vapes? Like your carts, what kind of carts do you like? Because now, like back in the day, there was the 510 traditional style.
Mm-hmm.
That's everyone knows it's the twist style.
Yep.
Little pen, or you can get like nowadays you get the little rectangles that I have and stuff. And they're great. Now we got V Fire carts, which are like the little rectangles with 3 metallic things on the bottom. And I keep calling them dart styles, but I'm blanking on what they look like. Little triangles, and you put them into like an oval thing. I think they're called V-Pods. V-Pods.
Yeah, I think so.
So, and now actually I saw a V-Fire one, which was like a company-specific brand, or K-Fire. So it was like a company making their own specific brand. So I'm seeing all these different types of vapes and carts. And since we're talking concentrates and education, I just want to say, like, I don't know if I can really give you any tips on this exactly. I mean, I can a little bit. I can definitely give a couple tips, but just in the sense of what's better, what's worse, I can't really say. That's really kind of hard to say because it's just like your style of preference, you know. Every V card pen, the ones I've got for the V Fire don't change temperatures as much. I feel like there's not that low, high, medium temperature difference isn't as different. Like they're not as big as jumps as some of those 510 pens. But other than that, I really just say it's the style of pen you're looking at and maybe the companies that you like. I just think it's kind of frustrating, you know, because then now I got to buy 3 different pens just to hit different carts depending on what deals are on. And, you know, it's like that's where it kind of gets annoying because at the end of the day, the vapes aren't super different. And that's why I wanted to ask everyone's thoughts on.
It's a hassle for the consumer.
Do you really notice a difference between a 510 pen and a V-Fire pen or a V? So I'm mixing them all up now. See what I mean? Like
too many of them.
It's confusing, right?
I'm not a huge fan of carts personally. I like them for the discreetness, I guess. If I was to use them, but I prefer to rather smoke some like weed inside a building instead of like a cart. But obviously you can't. So if I was to go with a cart, I'd probably have to go. I forgot there was that one that was like that hash rosin cart or something like that, right? What was it?
And Travis says, what were you saying?
No, go.
What was hash rosin cart, you said?
Yeah, or solventless cart. What was it?
I've had a couple now. I mean, Akashic's actually sold me rosin.
Yeah.
Like
those weren't bad. Those weren't bad.
No, I've had some, yeah. So I said I've had some decent carts. It's just not a regular thing to me because I don't want to be hitting them all the time. So, like, I don't try to have those.
Scratchy on a lot of things with carts.
Well, and Travis just said carts aren't vapes. I mean, they're not the same things, but you are vaporizing cannabis. So that's why sometimes I will interchangeably say vapes, and I'll refer to them as vapes. I know they're not exactly the same thing as those, I don't know, those colored pens everyone's got. I forget what they're called. Everyone's got them. The nicotine ones? Breezes, thank you. I couldn't recall real quick. But yeah, no. Someone brought up Full Spectrum or Live Resin. I remember back in the day I used to get Big Gas live carts, or those weren't bad. I like those. They call them like darts.
Big Gas, yeah.
Yeah, I used to love those or whatever. So I think it's just kind of my habits changed. I don't want to say I dislike carts. I just want to say I don't really use them on the regular. I definitely dig a good cart here and there. I actually have some now, which I'm doing the V-Fire, which is, claw. I don't know. I have so many of the pens now. I'm just like, which pen fits which one? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's more like silly to me.
See, and that's what's annoying for the consumer, though. Like, remember when like all these brands released just their style cart? I mean, that's cool for that brand because if it's a good cart, people will continue buying it. But as a consumer, you're gonna have to buy different batteries or whatever to be able to fit that.
Well, especially when you make, I forget what company it is, but like, there's many companies that do that whole. Like I'm gonna make my own style vape or cart, whatever you want to call it.
Chakula had theirs. I think Claw has theirs. I think got V-Fire Claw. That's their own style, right? Like
yeah, maybe I've got, but some people have
like the most common for like the thread. You just throw that, you're good to go. I'd prefer that, and that just makes things go a lot easier, right?
Yeah,
for the consumer.
Yeah. It's just. Yeah, and that's kind of like my tip when it comes to vapes. Just
like it was crazy.
Don't stress about it. Whatever pen you got, unless someone's got another option or comment here. That's my opinion with vapes. But
remember Vegas Vapes? Vegas Vapes. What it was like 0.3 for like 30 or some bucks, right?
Yeah, but it was like 0.35.
Yeah, that's right.
0.35s is what we were getting, and they were disposable. I mean, you could buy the gram carts, but like I didn't want to buy a pen just to throw it away or get. I didn't want to bring it on the plane. I mean, I guess I could have, no big deal, but. I was there to smoke. I was there to smoke some joints. Like I wasn't necessarily there to like.
I was just saying that 0.35 is interesting compared to like the 0.5 that we are accustomed.
This is an interesting fact or interesting comment. Adam Bomb said they kill my tolerance and don't make me feel as good as dabs and flour. I never thought about it like that. I guess they do kind of make your tolerance increase and you're not even really realizing it. Because you're just hitting wax all day and it feels like you're only getting weed stoned because it's like calmer.
You are hitting 70-something%.
Yeah, that's an interesting like factoid because that's not exactly how I would look at it, but yeah, I like that. That's a cool way to look at it. I dig that.
I just love me some good old flowers, some good old dabs, man.
Yeah, and just like T-Dub was talking about, I agree.
Actually, some
Great
edibles,
for
too,
not
recently.
like smoking when weed's not an option. Like when you're at your grandma's house and you want to hit some weed in the bathroom and you can't, you just hit your vape cart. Like what I mean?
Perfect.
I hit.
Yeah.
You know how many vape? The holiday just passed. You know how many vape carts I hit in bathrooms? Come on, get the hell out of here.
Actually, I hit none. I just smoked weed outside.
That's
actually what I did.
I
this
did
year.
both. I did both.
I usually do have a vape.
Depends on which event
this
I was
like
at.
one of the
I was
first
at a
ones I
couple
just
different family things.
didn't. I don't know. I just smoked a fat doobie outside. I was like, "Yep, let's go.
I like that though. That killing your tolerance, but like.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I'm gonna have to look into that and try that myself.
Oh, Stizzy has their own style. Arrow has their own style. You see what I mean? Like the darts, the V, and I swear the V Fire
I'm not
got
familiar with
copied, and
Arrow.
now they have a K Fire one.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, Max Pods.
Yeah, everyone's got their own.
Right,
Yeah.
there's just 1.5 billion of them, right? So
trying to get the one that makes you unique and separate from everybody else, but it sucks for the consumer because look at the consumer's like, it's not like you can like if you want to go try
this
like concentrate, like some concentrate, you can buy different styles, right? Cart, you got to buy the battery in the cart.
That's true.
So you got to buy more. You can just buy a couple grams and be good.
If you already have the setup. And then if you're at home, I actually kind of,
true.
well, smoking weed, like it's all good. Dabs, all good. But that's why a lot of times I told you I got used to taking small dabs because I couldn't smell like weed all the time. Right. In certain situations. So it's like, this is an interesting comment from Color Commentary. And hey, appreciate you stopping in as always, homie. Or my friend. Carts allow us to be respectful to others. I love them. That's an interesting perspective because that's why I'll buy carts. It's not necessarily for me. I'll buy it because I want to use cannabis around people that I respect that don't. And I understand that you should be able to smell like weed. You should be able to smell like weed around your aunts. But like when there's family situations, it's not that I want to sit there. I personally don't want to be that person that's like fighting their rights and arguing with everyone at the family thing. Everyone has that uncle, right? That's like talking about some political thing they shouldn't, or some thing about like I don't believe in cannabis. Like just shh, not the time. Like we're just catching up. Everything's good vibes, right? So I always like to keep the vibes. I'm not trying to make it about me. You know what I mean? If they want to know about me and what I believe in, they listen to the podcast. Like, you know what I mean? So I like that it allows you to be respectful to others. And sneaky. If you want to sneak into a baseball game, you can get high and have your beer and no one knows the difference. Especially with how regular vapes are now. Once vapes normalized, like carts are just invisible now. You could do a cart like right there. No one even know.
Yeah, it's pretty much a game changer.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do gotta respect the vapes because they are a game changer.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Sure.
I didn't think about that, but like definitely just want to say like,
I mean
yeah.
I definitely have used vapes at family gatherings and at other places as well. So.
Dude, people get those things everywhere. I've seen people get those things in not Tiger Stadiums, just like arenas, in clubs, bars. People have flown with them. Yeah. People have. I mean, granted, we met a couple in Vegas that flew with weed, and they're like, "Oh, just fingers crossed." I was like, "That's stupid." Like, okay, you remember them, right? Like, no offense.
No, I remember.
I don't mean any negativity towards these people. They were nice, and they were like really nice, and we were just talking about weed. We were both smoking weed on the middle of the strip, and they're like, "Hey, hey."
That's we were talking about the pre-roll that we bought.
Like, did you pay for that? Yeah. We're like, yeah. Like, what else did you do? Like, we grew this from home. Like, oh, you live in Vegas? Like, no, we flew with it. Risky, but sure. Like I'm just like airports are the only place I don't fuck around. Like I don't mess around. I don't mess around airports. I'm just like trying to get to my flight. I'm not trying to be stopped. Just let me get to my flight. Like so, but yeah, you do it all the time. You can do it up.
That was fun.
You know. So and that's a big thing. You know, smoke weed on your own time and you smell like weed and you're going to like Walmart and you smell like weed. Like mind your own damn business. But like if you're gonna like puff weed. Like 4 joints in a blunt in a car with your cousins, then walking to your grandma's, like that might start some arguments. So I hear you, especially because it's cold as hell in Michigan. So
don't do that.
Yeah, no, and like flying with your weed, like that's crazy. Like flying, like Adam Bomb said, someone flew like from Seattle, and people say you can do it. I'm just like I'm not doing it. Like I'm all good on that. Like. Nah,
I'm not
I'll just buy it there. Like I bought a disposable cart in Vegas. Like cool.
Not until Detroit's oh, we don't care if you're flying back with it. Or,
yeah, it's just
or
not even then. I'll let like 300 people do it first, and then I'll be like, you know what I mean? Like, nah. I'll see how that plays out. You know what I mean? Like, and I actually enjoy the going to other places and trying their cannabis and comparing it to our Michigan product now, especially with the podcast. Man. We can come back to you and say, meh, was it really anything overrated? Like if you watch the old California episodes, like, yeah, sure, I was excited about trying the genetics and it was good flower, but like after going to Vegas and going other places now, you start to see that like it really is just your cultivator and how good they grew those genetics, you know, because I've had great cookies and I've had trash cookies. So yeah. I'm not gonna have any opinion on the brand cookies right now. Besides that, I've had some good cookies and I've had some shit cookies. Do I care about cookies? Meh, it's just a brand, right? Some of their genetics are good, but some of the exotic genetics are a lot better, you know. But who even knows exotic genetics? Like, you just gotta look and find your genetics out. Like that's it. You know, Lit Farms, in-house. Like there's so many good genetics that I can think about, and the list goes on forever. Like especially after going cannabis shows.
Oh my God, I know, right? There's so many seeds, so many breeders. You gotta love it. Tons of coming up.
Yeah, man. It's just 100%.
Yep, falls under TSA jurisdiction. That's federal. Yeah, I know. That's why I wouldn't mess.
Well, that's why I'm saying why mess with it, especially when you can go somewhere else. And
if I'm flying somewhere where it's legal, I will just buy it, like you said, and try and compare it. Because when I went to Cali, I did the same thing. I bought a bunch of different product, tried it, compared it. Thought the Michigan bud was still better. Same thing over Nevada. So
it's more fun for sure.
Yeah, different experience too. Trying it, smoking in that state, but
yeah, I had one last topic, but it's 8:10, so we should be getting out of here actually. But I mean, we can just say it real quick because I'd love to know people's thoughts.
I'll save it for next time.
I mean, it's real quick. It's nothing crazy. It's literally coarse titanium or ceramic. I just want to put it out there because I want to highlight this. Don't do titanium. Don't do titanium. Quartz or ceramic. Figure out which one you like. But I recommend quartz. I know Canada Dave.
Quartz all day. Yeah.
So that's like, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. Like I knew it was really gonna take a second. That's why I was. We already talked about it. No, I wasn't a long-winded one. No, I'll say
save it for
sure. But yeah,
bring them back next Tuesday. 7:10 Eastern.
Exactly. Well, this is just the concentrate special. So I mean, eventually we'll probably circle back to concentrates again, and we'll have different things and. But, we're not trying to cycle through them until like a year or two after. Like we're trying to like keep new topics for you guys. We try. It's hard to come up with new topics.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We tried to do each terpene, and that was really hard because we're like, damn, it's boring to talk about just limonene for an hour. Like it's not boring, but it was hard.
It's a lot of content too to put in an hour.
Just for limonene.
We could shrink the time, but we like an hour.
Yeah,
we like to hang out for an hour. So if you're not able to catch at the beginning, you can hop in. Yeah.
That's why we're mixing terpenes together now, and we're talking about multiple things just so we have more content to talk about. So, hell yeah. That's all I got. What else you got, Canada? Thank you for letting us know on IG. Thank you for all the comments on YouTube and Facebook. And,
I got nothing just besides tomorrow. Check out tomorrow's episode. It's dropping at 4:20 Eastern. We'll be going live. Can't believe it's December tomorrow, Groovy. What the heck? We're in the last month before the new year. We'll be going live Saturday at a normal time, 9 a.m. Eastern time with the Wake and Bake. Come sesh with us. Don't know what we're doing yet.
We'll have a couple games though. We're not gonna exactly do the overrated, but we had some just trying to do some like this or that or some type of game where we can just have some like little interaction. That's what we're trying to do is have more segments, interaction, just kind of like we did today. How we have like different segments and topics. Just so it's easier to kind of follow along for everyone, because we realize IG sometimes will fall behind, and it's like this keeps everything lined
flowing. Yeah, keeps everything flowing. Yep. And if you guys are enjoying the segments, or you guys ever have any like suggestions, you guys, topics you want to bring, just hit us in the DMs. We usually when people have hit us in the DMs or emailed us, we'll usually bring them up. Even if they're anonymous, we won't bring them up. We'll bring up the topic and we'll talk about it. So if you guys ever have any questions that you don't want to put on the chat, just hit us up.
Yeah, for sure.
And everyone that is commenting, we appreciate it because you're helping build this community.
We've got some good topics from that. We had a whole topic from one of those. Someone brought up THCO, and we started talking about cannabinoids, getting high from things from hemp, not necessarily just.
I actually think that was in the chat.
Another family of cannabis. Yeah. Right, it was during one of these. And that's like why we say please talk about these things, because there's tons of cannabinoids, but when the research is like one article basically regurgitated on 6 different websites, it's really hard to give you a lot of information besides like here's some quick info on
Well,
it.
there's not a lot of information on a lot of the stuff.
Not
right
on
now,
like
too,
CBDV and
just
all
to
these
talk about
new
it and
things.
build with everybody. It's fun, and I appreciate that. So
Yeah, please check us out and support us on our individual socials, please. You know,
Follow us
he's
on
a killer
YouTube.
grower.
Follow us on
I got some tunes out there. You make your own opinions. But Groovy Music, 2 E's, no Y. Canada Dave, everywhere. You can check our shit out. We appreciate any support. You know, the social media stuff is a weird game where it's like
just hit that like button on YouTube.
you got to do it, I guess, right?
Much love.
Yeah, if you got anyone wants to come on the episode or any recommendations, put in the comments.
Hit us up. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Look forward to seeing you all live this Saturday. Other than that.
Yeah, 9 a.m. 9 a.m.
Yeah. As always, Groovy, we're here to
advocate,
educate,
and inspire.
Until next time, guys. Peace. Smoke good, everybody.